Hi, my name is Lee. Welcome to Rocky Mountain Grace. This is my YouTube channel where I share with you personal experiences that people have had through their faith in the Lord. Basically, I do this strictly for sharing of faith. If you're struggling with this COVID or financially or spiritually, my goal is just to share people's stories of faith to help strengthen you and help you overcome obstacles in your life through the presence of God and asking for Him to come into your life. Before I get started today, my daughter and my wife have been bugging me for the last couple of weeks, and this was something I said I was never going to do, but I've got a book. It's called The Kid Who Couldn't Leave the Yard. I wrote this book about 2 years ago, and at first I just sold it, had it produced and published in paperback form, and sold it or gave it away to friends and family members. But my kids are saying that I should promote this on this channel because there was a couple of years' work that went into it. It's basically the story of a young boy who had a disease in his legs and who became addicted to the barbiturates given to him to slow him down. There is some truth in this story. I'll let you discover what that might be, but it's probably 90% fiction. But what happens with this little boy is that because of the drugs he's on, the addiction to them, he starts having flying dreams with the assistance of his brother. And in one of his flying dreams, he saves a young girl from a man who is chasing her. He picks her up, swoops down, picks her up. Well, little does he know that the girl is actually real, and that she is dreaming the same thing, and that the bad man is also real. And instead of being after the little girl, he's after the little boy. So I just wanted to, it's available on Amazon. I think it's like $15. So I'm just gonna hold a minute. Hey. Gentlemen drive by, there's a trunk road, service road here. It's available on Amazon. I think it's $15. I'll show you a little bit of a close-up. Like I say, it's called Kid Who Couldn't Leave the Yard. Kind of a weird title, but you'll see why if you decide that you'd like to purchase it. I'll be honest with you, I feel strange promoting something because this channel is not designed for that. I seldom ask for subscribers. I do ask that people mail in their experiences so that we can share them, because sharing strength or sharing faith helps strengthen each other. And so I do ask for that, and I'd like to thank everyone for sending emails in to me with stories and personal experiences. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. Actually, the one I'm going to read to you today is also another one that was emailed to me from a subscriber. I'm fixing my microphone. So let me get started here. This is a miraculous story, and I think you're going to like it as much as I do, because it's a story of selflessness and how two people who you would be totally surprised that might not care for each other, but certainly demonstrated the exact opposite, and the value of unconditional love and the gift of giving. So let me bring it up here. Okay, here we go. 10 years ago, after their first date, Debbie Neal Strickland put on a cream-colored lace gown and married her longtime sweetheart at their Florida church. 2 days later, she put on a hospital gown and donated a kidney to Maylene Mirth, her new husband's ex-wife. An unusual story? Yes. But the tale of Jim Strickland and his two wives is a testament to how love and compassion can triumph over division. Maylene, 59 years old, had long struggled with kidney disease. By last year, she was ghostly pale with dark circles under her eyes, dragging herself through the workday with no energy. By the time she was admitted to the hospital in November, her kidneys were only functioning at 8%. Her brother offered to donate a kidney, but wasn't a match, so Debbie volunteered. Jim and Maylene have been divorced for nearly 2 decades now, but they got along well as they raised their 2 children, and as Jim fell in love with 56-year-old Debbie. Now, I don't mean to, isn't that wonderful? You know, a couple gets divorced, but they still love each other and still respect each other enough and love their family enough to remain close and to work together. I think that's wonderful. The women were friendly at family gatherings, though not especially close. And Debbie knew that Maylene was about to become a grandmother for the first time. Her daughter was pregnant. She imagined Maylene's daughter giving birth and her mom not being there. I just couldn't not try to change that, she said. God told me, you're a match and you need to do this. Giving is what Debbie and Jim do. At their home in Ocala, they are raising 6 children, a 6-year-old girl with autism and 5 teenagers. Some are Debbie's biological grandchildren and some they are fostering. But Debbie's desire to help Maylene ran deeper. She spent years watching her brother die of cystic fibrosis while awaiting a double lung transplant. She offered one of her lungs, but she wasn't a match, and he needed 2. When somebody needs an organ, if they don't get it, they're probably not going to make it. I know it's something that you do quickly, she said. Debbie passed the initial match for blood and tissue and began more complex testing while juggling a house full of kids. And at one point, toting a urine collection jug for 24 hours. Maylene tried desperately not to get her hopes up, focusing instead on her future as a grandmother. Debbie knew that's all I ever wanted, she said. She did it from her heart. After months of testing and COVID delays, the transplant was set for 2 days after Jim and Debbie's wedding. Debbie was tempted to postpone the wedding, but friends discouraged her. The couple had already waited 10 years, canceling twice in deference to their children, who announced their own engagements. They married November 22nd. Jim wore a gray suit with a yellow shirt, because he's my single yellow rose, Debbie said. It was the most amazing day of my life. Until 2 days later, that was also the most amazing day of my life, she said. As soon as she regained consciousness, the new bride asked about Maylene. A few floors below, Maylene, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Maylene also was pleading with her nurses. I need to see her. That was the first thing out of my mouth. COVID-19 protocols were strict, but Jim was eventually allowed to wheel his new wife into his ex-wife's room. We had our masks on too, so we were crying, and of course our stomachs were hurting because of the incisions, Maylene said. We kind of laughed and cried. Debbie could already see the difference. The circles under Maylene's eyes were gone. She looked so alive and revitalized. Maylene moved in with her daughter, son-in-law, and new baby Jackson to recuperate. I got to hold him and feed him, said Maylene, who welcomed a second grandson in March. It was like, I'm actually here to see this, and I'm holding this little baby. The women call themselves kidney sisters, pray for each other, coo over their grandbabies, and are planning a big family trip to Lake Rabun, Georgia this summer. This is what the world is about, family. We need to stick together, Maylene said. She saved my life. Wow. I want to repeat what Maylene said there. This is what the whole world is about, family. We need to stick together. No truer words have ever been spoken, and as human beings, whether we're blood related, biologically related, or whatever, we're all family. And this is what we need to do. We need to stick together. We need to stand up for each other and be there for each other when called upon. Imagine what a wonderful world it would be if we could just do that one simple thing. Anyhow, I'm going to pan around before I go. This isn't a normal area where I would stop. I'm in Kananaskis. It's just so beautiful out, and I've been down this road a couple times, but it's been closed, and I thought I'd take a chance to come down it today. Like I say, it's a service road. I don't really know what they're working on down further, but there's a bridge over here that's closed off. But just a beautiful view, beautiful, beautiful. I've got my bear spray, it's sitting right next to my camera. Bad news, we've had 2 people in the last week and a half or so that have been killed by grizzly bears. Within about a 30-kilometer radius of where I'm at this present moment. So you have to be careful, you have to stay safe. Anyhow, gonna do a little pan around before I leave. Remember, if you're interested at all, there's my book. It's called The Kid Who Couldn't Leave the Yard. You'll understand the title when you read it. You know what, I say so myself, it's pretty good. The first, once you get to page 35, it will open your mind like you, and you'll enjoy it. It's an easy read for children, adults. Anyhow, I'm gonna do a pan around for you. Thank you very much for joining me today, and may God continue to bless you and yours. So like I said, they're doing something over in that area, but I'm not really sure what it is, but they've got that bridge blocked off so you can't get across it. And then across the road there, obviously the mountains, and down just a little bit further, you can see my motorcycle. I'm on my motorcycle today, but I'm just completely surrounded here by mountains and the forest here behind me. Anyhow, have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for coming by. Bye now.